What's up, guys? It's Gator Dave. Today is January 19th, and that marks the release of the Blindwater Army Box. And this is the first time that Minions is represented in an Army Box, like Battle Box, Army Box, any of those. This is the first time they're being represented in this. So this is fantastic. I mean, this is great news. We're going to see a lot more Minions players. Hopefully a lot of you guys are considering getting into Gators. You could grab this, and there's a lot of great staples in this that'll really help you build a strong foundation for building your Blindwater army. So really good stuff in this box. I wish they had one of these when I first started. So definitely worth getting, I think. And even for players, like veteran players like myself, who already have everything in this box, it's still worth considering. Like, I have a lot of these models already, but I also have like the metal variations, like so the earlier sculpts of the Gatorman posse. I wouldn't mind getting a second plastic one, and also a second plastic wrestler would be cool as well. So definitely, I mean, I've considered it. It's definitely worth consideration. So let's just go ahead and run down what's inside the army box. So first off, the Warcaster that's in there is Rask. So you get one Rask. You get the Gatorman Soul Slave, who's coming out recently, who's the Warcaster attachment. You get two Light Beasts, the Bull Snapper with Spiny Growth, his Animus, the Bone Swarm with Swarm Animus, and then you get the Black-Eyed Wrestler kit. So keep in mind, this is the kit. So you could make, if you wanted to, it wouldn't work with the points and everything like that, but if you wanted to, if you already had a Wrestler, you could make him into a Blindwalker. So worth noting, definitely at least worth noting that. You get a full unit, a max unit, a Gatorman posse, which are the core of the Blindwater congregation theme. So definitely, they're great. You get one Bone Shrine, which is kind of weird because I know the Bone Shrines come in packages of 2, and I think it's like Field Allowance 2. So if you wanted to get more Bone Shrines, you're going to have like a third Bone Shrine, which is kind of strange. You get a full unit of the, well, there only is one size unit, but the Gatorman Bokor and Bogtrog Swamp Shamblers. Those guys are awesome. You get Slick Spine and Gub, fantastic. Those guys put in work. And then you get 2 Void Leeches, which are the unit attachments for amphibious units. So you could attach those to the 2 units in the box. So if we go through and plug this into our war room, and we just kind of take a look at how this kind of works in theme, with what's lined out for every 25 points of units or battle engines in the list, you get 1 free solo or free Bull Snapper. So if you just kind of look at what I have here, this is just this is what's in the box. And then you get your free card. So you basically get free Gatorman Soul Slave, and that puts you at 35 points exactly. So this is the list, and it's a solid list. I mean, it's a good list. It's not super like crazy competitive or anything like that. It's just your basic general list. Rask definitely works, better, I believe, in the Will Work for Food theme, where he takes lesser Warlocks with him, and also more War Beast heavy and stuff like that. But this still works too, and you could interchange with other Warlocks, of course. So we're going to talk about what you would want to look at, or like my personal opinion of what you would look at to bump this list up to 75. So the first thing I would say is the lesser Warlock, Wrong Eye, and his trusty buddy Snapjaw. So these guys are fantastic. They have a bunch of great utility, and in addition to this, you only have 2 light war beasts in the list. So without throwing another heavy on with Rask, you get another heavy, so you get Snapjaw, who's a straight beast. And his Animus Submerge prevents him and Wrong Eye from being targeted by ranged or magic attacks, I believe. So I mean, they could just submerge, they can't be hit. It's really awesome. So they could kind of flank or whatever, or they could stick with your units, and Wrong Eye could pop out his Star-Crossed. So, I mean, you can have Star-Crossed within his command, so like 8 inches just out on the field. So that's awesome. Love these guys. Can't say enough good stuff about these guys. They always come through for me. I really, really love these guys. So definitely worth considering in your list. Next up is the Bogtrog Misspeaker. And this guy's fantastic. I love running this guy with Caliban myself. But he's great with Rask too. because you know, he has the ability to give eyeless sight. So he can give that to Rask, so he could use his harpoon. He also has veteran leader Bogtrog, so +1 attack to Bogtrog models, so he could help your swamp shamblers hit stuff a little bit easier. He could also help Rask hit stuff a little bit easier. And then he also has the ability to like kind of pop out like a little smoke cloud around himself, which is also really cool to like kind of hide some of your other solos and stuff like that, just to kind of like block line of sight. So I think that's really cool. And of course, if there's no swamp shamblers around, Rask could always call this guy to sacrifice him instead of a shambler, because Rask has that ability where he could sacrifice Bogtrog models instead of taking the damage. So also talking about smoke clouds, I think another like really key piece, and I use these guys in like a ton of my lists, is the Swamp Gobber's Bellow Crew. These guys are fantastic. I mean, these guys, they're pretty basic. Movement 6, they go out there and they pop their 5-inch smoke cloud within an inch, and it just blocks line of sight, and it's fantastic. You have you know, your Warcaster behind the cloud and whatnot, and I mean, you have also the other smoke cloud with the Bogtrog Mist Speaker, and Rask of course puts out his own 4-inch smoke cloud with his the mist thing that he puts out. So I mean, you're blocking a line of sight. I mean, you're giving a lot of you guys, you know, cover, or not cover, but concealment. You know, I know the Gatorman posse gives themselves concealment, but for your other stuff, you know, for your shamblers, and then keep the Bocor behind the cloud so he can't be targeted. I think these guys are huge. Blocking line of sight like that with clouds, it's fantastic. So, I mean, that with the combination of Rask's feet, they should really never be able to get to him too easily. You know what I mean? So also, I mean, another Gobber, the Swamp Gobber Chef. I think this guy's great. Especially in lists where you're running shamblers. So when you have these like really low point models like shamblers, and you know you're going to be cranking out new ones as other stuff dies, and you're running some beasts, it's always good to have this guy around, because he could always kill a shambler. You know, he could always sack one and have a beast remove the fury. So when you're running, I mean, you're going to be running 2 lights, you're going to have the 2 heavies, you know what I mean? It's definitely worth considering having this guy around. And for 1 point, I think he's a hell of a bargain. So definitely worth having. And I mean, like, look at the sculpt. This guy is disgusting, but I mean, like, in a good way. I mean, he's just a filthy bastard. So I love this guy. Definitely worth having. Definitely worth having for the 1 point, for sure. Who doesn't love a dirty Swamp Gobber Chef? So, all right, so looking at this is the updated 75-point list. Now, in addition to the stuff I mentioned, we're going to go ahead and double the Gatorman Posse unit. So I would definitely suggest getting another unit of the Gatorman Posse if you want to like really exploit and get the full benefits of that Blindwater theme. Because in the Blindwater theme, it gives them 8 life boxes instead of 5. And it also gives them the snacking ability. So once they kill something, you know, they roll the D3 and heal themselves. So that's amazing. You're not going to use the snacking all the time, because you're going to want to grab the corpses with the Shambler's Bocor, but it's definitely a nice option to have. You know, you could mix it up. He takes some, they take some, whatever. Nobody's corpse is going to waste, basically. So either somebody's getting eaten or they're getting turned into a Shambler. So it all works out. And also an additional Void Leech to plug on the end of that posse. So this is just my opinion, just what I think would be good. You guys tell me below what you guys are going to do, or what you think would be good as well. So if you guys are interested, we could do some more list building in the future. Let me know if there's any other lists you guys are interested in. This isn't my Rask list specifically, but just using the models in the box, that's what I put together. So, all right, I hope you guys enjoyed it. Please like and subscribe. Catch you later. Gator Dave out.
Your choice right. Select and make your first pick. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6. Choose and pick the best one. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Select and make your first pick. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6. Choose and pick the best one. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Select and make your first pick. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6. Choose and pick the best one. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Select and make your first pick. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6. Choose and pick.